because we don't discuss this question. I can't say properly for you on it, but I don't see any problems to uh, develop such mechanic or not introduce it. Maybe do you mean cost one time or cost per, for example, 1 hour?
Okay, fine. Thank you.
I just ask you, you mean a cost to create an army for like each hour you will lose your gold to be in the army, or you want your wish
No,
was one time?
for the leader of the army to actually create the army in the single player, he needs to have so much influence to himself to do that. Yes.
Okay, we will
So,
discuss. Nice idea. Maybe yes, you just need to farm, for example, 300 influence for each character, and to become a part of the army, to form an army, you will need to pay this 300 influence. Sounds good. Not sure about numbers, but sounds good because there is no options for influence right now.
okay, that sounds okay to me. Thank you.
There is one more request from Syndrome. I'm also inviting him.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Good morning.
So I have a question about the castles. But let's say you can only have a 300-man garrison. If we are not there, does the attacking army who attacks the castle fight against the AI troops which are in the garrison?
Again, if you have a garrison with 300 troops, for example, and there are no players in this castle and no one go to defend it, and you attack it, you will fight versus troops.
Nice.
Versus
And I have
AI.
one more question. If someone attacks my castle, so to say, and the 5 minutes timer is over, can I still reinforce it as it is a castle battle?
You mean, okay, if someone attacks you?
Yeah, and the battle starts, but I'm not near the castle.
Not near a castle?
I come after 5 minutes after the battle started. Can I still reinforce that battle?
Don't know. Don't know. I should ask our developers about it.
You're telling us that you're not the developer. Sorry, just a joke.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
mean, there will be also a limit. There will be also a limit for participants. Yes, like in common army. So if this limit is over, you cannot join. For example, your friends defend your castle, you cannot join them if they fall the limit. What about if siege battle is started and join or not?
Yeah, that's what I meant. If the siege battle started before I got to the castle to defend it.
Yes. I understand.
Yes.
Wait, please a minute.
Yep.
Okay, I asked Storm and other developers. Can you remind me if this option was able in the single player? So if Siege was started and the single player doesn't have a limit for battles, so can you join or not in single player to a castle battle if it is already started?
That's a good question. I don't know. I never joined the castle battle because I always started the castle battle in single players. So if anyone knows, should write. Someone wrote me. King Strategist just wrote me that he said that you can reinforce the
Okay.
battle.
Okay, if can, we will discuss this with developers if we will implement or not such feature. Because it seems that it will be useful and there are no problems to implement such thing since it was in the single player.
Nice. That was it on my part. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I don't see any questions in chat and I don't see any requests for any questions. So I guess we can move to another question right now. Okay, our next question about our closest huge update. It's about economic update. How the developers see it and what they want to introduce. Will the economy update change warriors training and the collection of warriors for the player's army in general? Is there possibility of introducing a system where territories are needed to gather an army? And when can we expect the economy update?
Okay, about dates, I can say 2-3 months. This is what we told for Russian players yesterday. And I think the time frame 2 or 3 months is true right now. But I remember you that we can find some problems with Tail Worlds engine or some problems with network code which we cannot solve fast, and this will last for more than 3 months. So wait in next 2-3 months. How developers see and what they want to introduce. First of all, we want to introduce new types of villages which work with order system, like wood villages right now. Yes, we rework farm villages, which you excuse me. We rework farm villages to so they will be able to present orders. So you can make an order in the farm village, which will give you grain, like wood. No, you just pay for it, and some player will just work on it. We will introduce 2 new villages. One village with iron ore, or maybe some other kind of ores. Right now it is only about iron ore. And a village with wild boars, which you will hunt. Just an activity with some fun to attract you from battles and troop farms. So border villages will produce meat and some skin. Not really meated skin, but This is what you need to think. After villages, we also will introduce workshops and workbenches. Each player will be able to rent a workshop in every town in the game. So there are 53 towns or cities, and in each city we have right now 6 slots for workshop. So it will be an open auction where you can fight for the place in, for example, Zionica, or for example, Artesia, Sibir. There will be 6 places in each city, and after you win auction, you will we will give you an option to own a workshop for half of year. Sounds big, but don't worry. If someone just forget about his workshop, or someone just wants to sell it, you will be able to send it to another player from, for example, barter, or from auction. You can just put your workshop on auction, and other players can try to buy it, but not with full time, only with less time. For example, I want to sell my workshop after an hour, after 1 month, you want to get to buy it, you will be able only to rent it for 5 months, not for 6. That's all about workshop and auction. Each workshop will have 2 slots for workbenches. You will be able to customize your workshop as you wish. You will be able to build one of several workbenches. Workbenches is just a machine which will you use to craft. So workshops are needed for crafts. So you can, for example, create a workshop with 2 workbenches, smithy and foundry, or maybe a workbench with cooking table to create food, or maybe some workbench carpenter, so to create some wood from what you already own from villages. That's all, as I think, about workbenches. About crafting and smithing, I will tell further in the questions. Also, we want to implement a system with, let's name it prosperity for villages. It will be only global without owning right now, because to own a village you need to own a castle or a city. So there are no be owning, but there will be a parameter which we named prosperity right now, which means that if a village is good, for example, many players are working in it, and more money go through it, prosperity will grow up. And if prosperity is big enough, you can produce, you can craft, you can get from one time of work more resources when you get before. For example, I work 5 minutes in farm village and get 10 grain, and with good prosperity I will get, for example, not 10 but 30 items of grain. Yes, for also for 5 minutes. Maybe not really grain, not really an amount we will change, but equality of these items. For example, bad grain, good grain, excellent grain to create, of course, bad bread, good bread, and excellent bread. What I mean about good and bad bread, we don't really know how it will be implemented, but maybe, we will introduce some mechanics of food, like in single player. So to be able to fight with army, you need food. To level up your army, you need food. And for example, bad bread or bad food will decrease your healing rate. Yes, or decrease your experience gain rate. Or, for example, excellent grain will increase your movement speed on global map. I don't really like this idea, but who knows? So the main idea that if prosperity of village is good enough, you will be pleased to defend this village from enemies. And I don't tell, but we will introduce an option to attack, to raid a village. And maybe caravans will be introduced for this mechanic. So what I mean, for example, one in each hour village run a caravan to the city. For example, let's think about Ziakoris and Zionica. So the caravan start from Ziakoris to Zionica to sold some items, I don't know. If caravan is succeeded, prosperity of village is grown up. But if you attack a caravan, prosperity of this village is downgrade, and prosperity, and you can steal from caravans, for example, some items, or maybe special food, or maybe special instruments for village. You can give this to your own, not own, but to your village. For example, near Sibir village, I don't know names, and the prosperity of your village will grow up. Also, attack system or raid system for villages will also have such effect. So if you raid this village, you steal some goods, which will increase prosperity of your village. So this is the reason which will be in economic update to fight in PvP. So I want to defend my villages because if they good enough, they will produce more resources for craft or more quality resources. And I want to fight versus other players and attack other villages because I want to downgrade their villages so they will not have an option to craft good or excellent items, and I can level up prosperity of my own village. This is the main idea of villages attacks, raidings, and caravans right now. I think that's all about economic update.
Are there any questions about economy update? Okay, we have.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
The caravans, are these going to be player caravans?
No, right now it will be just a caravan which will form from a village, But when owning a village will be a thing, I don't see any problems to make this caravan be a player caravan. But maybe it will be a problem because, for example, you will run caravans in 3 a.m. on UTC and nobody plays in this time, and you just can improve your prosperity without any troubles. Yes, it seems that there should be a time frame for these caravans, which already should know, for example, or maybe not really already. Everybody should know, but I think maybe everybody is not good. Maybe you need to just some spice to add some spice from players. Yes, to look for these caravans. Don't know exactly.
Okay, thank you.
There is a question in chat. I also copy pasted to your personal messages, Limbo. If a city village cannot be raided, then their prosperity will never be lowered. So how will this be handled? Also, will the economy update be available in the beta server before mass release?
What about the villages? I said that economy update will be before castle update. So in economy update, you already be able to fight and defend and attack villages. It is not bounded to castle update. So to downgrade or level up prosperity of the village, it should not be a part of the clan. It's you can just attack it. And as I know, we don't want to introduce all villages, maybe only parts. Maybe, for example, only villages which are bound to castle because it sounds good. You fight for castle, you get castle, you get also village, you get some goods from this village, you are interested to improve your prosperity of the village. That's all. And the second part about beta server. I don't know about beta server. Storm, will economy update will be able on the beta server?
As I remember yesterday, he said that most likely there is a possibility that economy update will be on beta server, because then why we started beta server. There is a possibility, but there is no like 100% answer on this question. But yes, there is a possibility, because economy update is really huge, as you can see, because Limbo described a lot of things. I think we can compare economy update to like clans update, because clans update it was enormous, and so economy update should be the same way. It won't be like a little piece of something, so you can enjoy it. Developers think that economy update will be like a huge thing, a huge cloud of content, so you can enjoy it for a long time. That's all I can say. So there is a possibility about beta server. There is a possibility, but there is no definite answer on this. I think I answered your question, Limbo. This question, so we don't have to ask Storm for this. So yes, if there any question, I guess yes, there is one more person who wants to ask this question, another question about this theme. Yeah. Okay, Grumbling Storm. Okay.
Hi, yeah. Just a quick question. Will the economy update likely come in one big update, or will it be split into many small updates?
The current plan is it will be just a big thing because it also, I forgot to mention that it also contains chat improvements, blacklist and private messages, and new loot system. And you will be able to see all loot information in encyclopedia. So you can just open encyclopedia and to see all things which are drops from, for example, Northern bandits. So it will be a big one thing.
Perfect, thank you.
Loot system, chat, and workshops and villages. I think so. Maybe if it will be possible, some small parts, like for example chat, will be introduced without economic update. But we think that it should be a one big feature, a one big patch.
That's
Yeah,
perfect, thank you.
as I said, it should be like clan update. Clan update was enormous, so economy update is planned to be the same way. So yes, it should be like this. At least it is in the plans, so it won't be like a little piece, a little piece, a little piece. No, it just will be like boom, got it. You can play it. Huge system, huge content. Just enjoy it. That's how it should be. At least how it is in plans. And thank you for your question. Yeah, if you have another question, you can ask.
No, that's me done, thank you.
Okay, give me 1 second. I will check the chat. Maybe someone wrote one more question. Who knows? No, there is no questions about economy update, so I can. Let's move on to the next. Okay. What is the timeline for the life of the project at the moment? In what order do the developers plan to release major updates such as castles, sieges, economy, kingdom creation, etc.?
As I said, the next big update is economy update. Then we will try to spend only 1 month to fix all bugs, errors, or maybe some other mistakes of this update. And after this, we will continue work on the sieges. We have already some features about siege battles and castles. Siege battles, as I remember, already finished by Solody, our developer. Maybe not fully with new sync update, but it seems so. And after this, we have, I can say, no plans. I mean that we haven't even discussed this with our developer team, which we will introduce after sieges and kingdoms. I can say that if you played in mods for the first part of Mountain Blade, Prophecy of Pandor, you must know a feature which is called orders, where you can create your own knight order and create your own troops, which in which you invest money. They have only skills which you upgrade them, horses which you introduce to them, and items which you gave to them. And this is maybe a plan on the next update after kingdoms. But guys, we don't really finish sieges, economy update, and kingdoms, and we don't really want to discuss future plans, only about kingdoms, sieges, and economy update.
So are there any questions? In chat, I didn't see any question. Maybe someone want to voice their questions. Okay, let's move to the next. Will the cavalry be fully capable of dropping enemies to the ground, disrupting their attack?
As Storm mentioned yesterday, it is already done with new sync update. If you have enough speed, you can drop down your enemies.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Okay, question number 5. Will it be possible to own towns, villages, or only castles? I mean, you kind of already partly answered this question, but maybe in future you will be able to own towns fully.
Not, we don't have, how can I say it? We don't discuss towns, but since it is a thing in single player, there is no problem to introduce it in multiplayer. I mean, in Bannerlord Online, but we don't discuss it. We have no plans about towns right now. Maybe in future, maybe before Night Orders and after Kingdoms, we will think about owning towns. And owning villages will be, I think, with Castle Update.
Okay. There is one more question. It's not about this theme. It's not about this topic, but it's not on the list. Will there be any changes in how players are spawned into the game? Because right now, all new players are spawned only in Zeonica. Maybe you will change something. For example, if player will choose another faction and they will spawn in another city?
Okay, wait a minute, please. It seems yes, only in Zeonica right now, because Zeonica contains right now parties of looters which are weak, and we don't want to create a lot of such
Zones. Because there is a
yes.
special zone for new players around Zeonica. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I will just answer faster. There is a special zone around Zeonica where new players can attack lower stacks, and it will be kind of strange if developers will add the same zones to every faction. To be honest, a big part of the map will be just stacked with these small zones for new players, and it will be kind of strange and maybe unfair. So Zeonica is kind of center right now. So that's what Limbo wanted to say. And developers didn't even think about it. There were a lot of ideas about this, but developers can't say anything about this right now. I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify, I think, faster about this. Okay, next question. Will the clan treasury be added and when? Because developers already spoke about this only when they introduced the clans. There were a little bit of text, and they mentioned that there will be treasury which will be added to every clan. So will it be added or not?
Clan treasury of gold, as I remember.
Yes,
Ye-
clan treasury for dinars. Yeah.
Yes, but we don't know how to implement it. Where this gold should be income. I mean, I don't remember. We talked about this.
We-
Okay. It will be a percentage of incomes from players. Yes. So clan treasury will be implemented, and just some percentage from your income will be just go to the clan treasury. But maybe some other way of income will be introduced, and also will be introduced logs of income for you to check how, for example, I successfully worked for the clan, or maybe some other players in the clan were too bad in this clan for gold income.
There is one person who said, what gold? It was about clan treasury. He means dinars. He's talking about percentage of incomes from players who will, players will pay, like there is a possibility that clan treasury will be implemented. So clan members can give certain percentage of their income to clan. Every clan will set their own percentage. So that's how clan treasury will be built. That's what he meant. Also, there is a question. It is outside of our list, Limbo. I also copy pasted it to your personal messages because it is a really important question. I also saw that you spoke about this in ideas and wishes. So people are interested. What about the player focus group that was voted for? And Limbo said yes about this. Would it be started or talked about after sync update? And how will players get picked to be part of this?
I can say that we should discuss this question at the end of our meeting. Don't forget to remind to me
I will
about
remind you. I will remind
it.
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
we will discuss it because we should discuss other features and other questions, and I will describe all about this focus group.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Maybe there are more questions for people who want to voice them. So I won't only read chat. If you have like some random question out of your mind, which is not on the list, and you can just ping us and we will listen to your question and we will try to answer this. Okay. I can see anything right now. So yeah. Last question from the list was about clan treasure update. So yeah. How exactly will the crafting of weapons and armor work?
Okay, I will describe your full steps. First of all, to be able to craft any weapon or any armor or food, you need to rent a workshop. The second step is that you need to create a workbench for an item which you want to craft. For craft weapon and armor, it will be a smithy workbench. To craft ingots, for example, it would be foundry. Yes. For example, food, it would be a cooking table or maybe a baker table or something like this. So the next step, you need to get resources from villages, which I mentioned before. So you need to get, for example, grain to craft food, or maybe skin from boar, or iron ore from mining village. Next step is you will refine these items to what you want. For example, meat you can refine to the cooking meat, and iron ore to iron ingots, and when you can start craft on the smithy weapon and armors. Process of craft is simple. There will be just several steps. For example, to craft Ramphalia or upgrade Ramphalia or repair Ramphalia. I will talk about this further. You need to use to make, for example, 50 things. I mean, just use bellows, or use flame of the smithy, or use bucket with water, or for example, use hammer on the anvil. Something like this. And after this, if you succeed, you will just craft an item. If you are not succeed, for example, there is an instruction that you need to use bellows and you use, for example, hammer and anvil, your progress will be failed and you need to start from the beginning. No resources will be purchased if you fail. You just need to waste more time on it. Also, we will be introduced a system with NPC, new NPC, which we wanted to introduce in clan update, but don't have enough time for it. You will just fight versus troops, for example, or doing some quests. You can find an NPC which will craft instead of you in your workshop. So you don't need to cook bread all the time, because cooking the bread will be very simple, just one action, but it will be just grind and very boring to craft it all the time, because there will be a big needed in the bread, and you don't want to play in this. You just need to find an NPC which will craft instead of you. He will just work in you. You just need to get resources for him. Also, we will introduce a system of orders, not like orders in Wood Village, but a new system of orders where you can just go to the city. You can see all workshops which are able to make an order in this city, and you can make an order and give your own resources to the workshop, and the owner of the workshop will just craft this item for you. Also, you can use resources of this workshop if there is an option for it. So, for example, I open my own workshop. I have some iron ingots and I have some wood, and you come to this town, open this order interface, which is close to single player interface, and you can make an order. For example, to craft Ramphalia. You can give your own resources or use mine resources. No, of course, you will need to pay for my resources, and also you need to pay for my craft process. Yes, I waste my time, so you need to pay to me for wasting my time. There will be no system like in single player where you can create your own weapon with your own stats. We only introduce right now a system with just items which were already in the game. or maybe some new items, but you won't be able to create a new Linbos weapon, for example, which will have a length with 3 meters, will have damage very big. So no customizing in parameters. Maybe if it will be needed, really needed, there will be a lot of requests from players. We will introduce such system after castles. Maybe only in castles, for example, yes. But right now, it is simple for us to implement only system with craft weapons and armors which are already in the game. That's all, I think.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
Think Wolf, you wanted to ask because I see that you're here, so you can ask your question.
I jumped a bit early. I did have a question which is related to prisoners, but I also said that's question 13, so I don't mind waiting.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There is a question about workshops, Limbo. Do we have to be in the clan to have a workshop, or any like player who is separate from any clan? He also, or she, they, I don't care, on any workshop.
Anybody can have a workshop, except, for example, I think we will have a rule that only 10 or more level requirements of character. So that newbies will not go to own workshop. I don't mention that owning a workshop not only about resources and craft. You also need to make some quests, I think, for your workshop to correctly work it. What I mean, if you played in the first spot, Warband, Mountain Blade Warband, if you own a village, there will be some events like we caught a witch, can we fight? Or our well is dirty, or there are problems with cows. There will be some free for quests for workshops which you need to do. But if you don't finish them for example 1 or 2 days, your workshop will be broken and go to the public auction. Your own your owning of this workshop will be cancelled.
Okay, thank you. Ramon wants to ask the question. I hope this question about this topic.
Yes, hello. It's about is it possible to destroy armor and weapons to obtain ingots or other parts for forging?
Yes, there will be a special category for, I don't know really which workbench, smithy or foundry. There will be an option to smelt items. I think we are not going to implement smelting for first tiers, first, second, and third. But for example, for fourth, fifth, and sixth tiers, why not?
Tier of weapon, yes, or armor?
Weapon and armor, yes.
Uh-huh. And how many ingots or other parts we will need? Like 1,000 or 100? Do you think about it? Have any ideas?
Don't really have ideas about numbers, but I think that if you it should be seems like if you don't want to walk in the village to just farm in these villages, You can fight versus troops, versus bosses, and get maybe not same, but more equal of ingots as you will get from villages. But we don't really discuss numbers or something of it.
No, like for example, to create prison, you need 5,000 of wood. Yes, for example, it's about wood we already have. And do we need same equal number or less for creating, I don't know, 5-tier armor? Roughly, what we speak in previous. Like same amount of ingots or you don't think about it?
Wait a minute, please. We don't really thought about equivalent of prison, for example, yes. But of course, it will be depends on tier of armor and weapon, and maybe 6,000 of woods. Yes, will be not really not will be realistic for a good weapon, for example, Rafaela. You know, not really for crafts, just a stick, but maybe for some other requirements, for example, to refine steel ingots to more good quality ingot and something like this. So 6,000, yeah, maybe such amount, yes, for good, for excellent items, yes. Maybe for upgrade items, of course.
So you can make excellent item, yeah? Like excellent trophy. Not say what we have from troops, but craft high level. Yes? High level
Uh,
item. Not tier, but excellent type. Right now we can craft update, yes, in Alvar. So you get reinforcement, Ramphia, or balance it, I forget. So you can craft it immediately from this workshop.
not really immediately. You just need to upgrade from one step to another. So you create classic default Ramphelia, or you will get a broken Ramphelia from auction, yes, from our players. And you can upgrade step by step. I will tell more information about it further because we have a question, as I remember. But you will be able to upgrade your Ramphelia to next levels.
And
And
what
the
about other type of materials? Warcha was asking. Well, I hear. So yesterday we speak about iron and wood, and you can make from iron or ingots. What about something another? Like, for example, you can make, I don't know, excellent ingots or Damascus steel, something like this.
As I said, maybe we will introduce this with prosperity of villages. So if prosperity is good enough, your village will produce not a common iron, but I don't know, a very good iron which can be smelt to steel ingots or Damascus ingots, something like this. Or maybe it will be introduced with drop from bosses. I don't know really how we will do it, but it seems that introducing like from prosperity is more good because it will make PvP battles more good. You really want to defend your village or you really want to attack a village if you can get more quality from resources for winning these battles.
Yeah, so we have fights for villages, yes, with the update. And owning villages.
No owning. I
in
said
future, after you will
no.
implement it.
No. As I said, we want to implement in economy update a parameter which we called right now prosperity, for example. And this parameter will be increased or decreased through PvP battles, like raiding for villages and defending villages and attacking caravans, defending caravans. And if this prosperity is good enough, your village will produce more ingots or more iron ore or more quality ore or more quality meat or more quality grain, more quality wood if it's needed for craft. Yes, and there is no owning of this village in these plans.
Okay, I understand. Okay, and we can, okay, I hear what I want. Thank you.
I see the question in chat, English chat, from Chaos. Does prosperity of village increase from people working in village? We have such plans, but there is no. I can't send 100% of it that it will be implemented. It seems that it is good for prosperity to be increased by people from work, but maybe not. We also want to introduce maybe one of ideas to remove grind from these works is that if, for example, nobody working in this village, for example, I don't know, village near Siberia again, there will be a multiplier for production. For example, if nobody for a week or for one day works in this village and I come in it and I work in it, I will get, for example, 10 times more grain for 1 hour of work if and if we talk about village in near Zionica, for example, village Ziakoris again, there are a lot of players who work in it. So we will just decrease this multiplier to 1 time. So if the village is not popular and there are no players who work in it, it will be very easy to farm in this village. You just came in it, come in it and walk, for example, 5 minutes and you get 10 more times than in a simple village. Yes. And of course, while you're working in it, this multiplier will decrease. So if you are working, for example, 4 hours, it will be decreased to 1x. Numbers are random right now.
So yeah, are there more questions about this topic? Because if not, then I will answer on the question which is not from the list. So yes, and after this we will make a 5 minutes break, as we talked. So yes, Speedo32, he asked, Tailworld has a history of buying the mods and we release them as their own. If this happens to Bannerlord Online, is there a guarantee for the Patreon owners and those that grinding up skills to keep it? I can give you only one, confident answer. This mod won't be sold, won't be traded to Tailwords. So it will stay as it is. It's not just any random single player mod. This mod needs a lot of resources, even for Tailwords, to keep up with some quality. It's not that easy, first of all. Second of all, developers don't even want to sell this mod. This mod will stay as it is. That's it. Bannerlord Online won't be sold. I hope I answered your question, and it's a definite answer. Okay, guys, let's move on to the 5 minutes break. See you in 5 minutes. Take your time. So I hope everyone is here. I'm here too, but okay. I wanted to say Limbo maybe is not ready because he didn't answer me and he just said, "Yeah, I'm ready." Yeah, I know. That's. We are moving to another question. Okay. Will units be balanced? Are there plans to introduce a single branch of units? Will fans melee be nerfed?
I can say no plans right now, because there are some problems and not enough resources. I explain it. First of all, we are still in beta. I mean, not our beta, but beta Bannerlord. So if Tailwords will decide to change something in the game, it will be an pain to fix all balance of units, balance items, or maybe skills, or maybe something else. We don't want to rebalance units right now because of that, and also because this is a big work. I think it will last for about 1 month of work of one of our developer, because it is not only about balancing gold and skills, it is also about balancing items, maybe balancing of troop upgrade system, something like this. There is also a question further, but I will ask here, that all units should be in one branch, from one culture, that you just upgrade one troop to other troops in this branch, and this is a big work. And if it is really needed, it will be done, but only after castle release, only after sieges. So I understand that there is a meta right now that only 2 or maybe 3 troops are playable, but this is what we have right now, and we are not going to change this before castles, only after we will discuss it. There is also an option for infantries, because infantries right now are too weak and too hard to level up to get experience. But I will answer about it further in the questions.
Okay. Maybe there are more questions about balancing. I don't see any requests. Okay. Will there be attack mechanics in the villages?
I said that there will be a raid on the village with economic update.
But nothing more.
What again?
And I mean, some players, like, I don't know, they expected kind of more, because I had some questions in personal messages, like maybe there will be more actions with villages, or right now you can't say more. It's like attack on village with economy update. It's like the closest thing right now. And about data plans, how you can introduce villages more, you don't have any more information.
Don't have any more, and I don't really understand what we can introduce more. Like raid in the village is only the one option to fight in village, as I see. So if I want to raid this village, I just want press one button, starting raid. Maybe our players will attack me, maybe not, and I will be succeeded. So Only this mechanic will be introduced with economic update. No future plans about any other attacks on the village.
So Zorti added some information. He said maybe there will be something like enemies can push hiding players in villages out of the village or be able to attack the hiding players in the village. But I guess there is still no info Zorti about this. The closest info about any action with villages was already announced by Limbo. So about other future plans, info is unknown. That's what I can say, even from my knowledge.
As I said, if village is neutral, don't have an owner from players, so you will be able to enter this village and no one can pull you out from this village. There
Okay.
are no options for it, and we don't really discuss it because it seems strange. We will implement safe zones near villages, and now you will be pulled up from this village. But if this village has an owner which is in enemy clan, it means that the villagers of this village belongs to an enemy. You cannot enter this village, I think so. You can only raid it. I think it is a good solution. So nobody can go through your territory without problems, because if your clan own a village, these safe zones will be disabled for your enemies. Only this village, no, not about neutral.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And like one of the main questions, do the developers plan to balance Wildlands and Frostlands by adding new items or features? Currently, the game is heavily skewed towards Frostlands, which gives more advantages to Frostlands players.
Yes and no. I mean, yesterday we discussed this question with Russian players, and they suggest some things that just are simple to implement, and maybe they will be done in the next week, like switching off timer on the Antiqua Master, or maybe decrease time in the Antiqua Master. But the problem with Wildlands and Frostlands, that first of all, it is required a lot of time to correctly develop something for it. And the second one, that Wildlands and Frostlands are not Bannerlord pink, are not Mountain Blade pink. I mean, there is no such territories in Bannerlord or maybe in Warband. So, as I wrote in Ideas and Wishes, you don't want to add new things or do something with things that are not from Bannerlord or from Warband. But Wildlands and Frostlands gives a big advantage to the owners of North castles and South castles, so these territories should be reworked. Maybe, as Storm said yesterday, if it is really needed, they would be removed. But I don't really like the idea of removing, because we passed the time on it. So I think there will be a global rework of these territories, but it will be only in castle update, or maybe right after, not in the economic update. So right now we just try to fix balance in wildlands with some numbers. For example, decrease time of Core Master. If it is enough, okay. If it is not enough and requires more, for example, and new spawn troops like in north. So right now, you can you can get troops from Frostlands, just buy them from Influence, yes. If we need something like this in Wildlands, we are not going to do it in the next 1 or 2 weeks. It will be in future plans only after castles or right before castles, but not right now. So you just need to play in what we have right now.
Okay, has any questions? I see no requests. I see no questions in chat. Are the bosses planned to be all over the map?
Yeah. I think yes. More bosses all over the map, not zones like Wildlands and Frostlands, just bosses. Of course, they will be in zones, as I can say, but they will be, rare and through all the map. So the big problem is to get content from Wildlands and Frostlands to farm bosses in these territories. You need to go in these territories, and go to Frostlands from Zionica is a very boring thing. So there will be added bosses. Don't know when. I think only after economic update, not in it. Maybe some bosses like a weekly quest, like headhunting. We have headhunting. Maybe some boss from such quest. So you take quest once a week, and you will be able to fight a boss. Don't know really when and how good.
Okay, Limbo, I'm sorry. There is a question not about this topic. I skipped this question by mistake. I'm really sorry. Chaos is long-winded. He asked, what happens when you raid a village? Is there any battle? Maybe you have more info about it.
Not really info. Maybe yes. There is no problem to raid a village and start a battle as a game design and as a code. So seems good. Yes, you fight versus villagers, which are like losers or weaker. So yes, if we raid the village, the battle starts, and also this battle don't start in 1 second. You need to wait for some time because it is an action which should be defended by players. So if you attack my village, I want to have time to go to you and stop you. So yes, maybe we will start a battle with villagers, so I have more time to defend it. And you just don't click to raid. You need also to fight, because raiding a village without troops should not be possible.
Okay, thank you. And next question. Are there any plans for captivity and unit recruitment?
Yes, because this thing was implemented in single player. Why not? But there's a problem how it should be done. We don't discuss it. As one of ideas from players, as I remember, this would be a thing for retreat mechanic. So if you retreat, you lose, for example, 10% of troops, and your enemy can capture them, and maybe some time pass, and you can get them to your army. Maybe yes, maybe not. I can say that this feature will be implemented. Don't know when. Because it was in single player. We have no reasons to not to implement this.
Okay. Are there any plans to debuff enemy players when they're imprisoned?
No, no plans for debuff players which are in prison, but prison is not completed right now. We want to implement a feature that if you don't pay for, if nobody pays for your life, for example, I capture a storm and set a price for 1 million, and no one wants to free him. To get free, he must to walk on the farm, in the village, for example. This should be a thing. The thing. So I mean, I captured Storm, and to get free, he should walk in the village to get resources for me. But also, we want to implement a possibility to get free through locking the door, unlocking. Just a thief skill, for example. Yes. So you like, don't really in Skyrim. Maybe one, maybe someone plays in Gothic or Gothic 2. There is an option to unlock chests. If we want to implement something like this to unlock the doors, so just pressing left, right, with a chance to broke your lockpick. So two possibilities to get free should be implemented for prison. One is a walk for your enemies, and one is get out of prison by unlock the door.
Okay. Wait, let me check. There are no questions. Okay. Are there currently plans of development, or are there currently plans or development of smaller pieces of playable content? For example, new professions in the villages, board games in the tavern, new arena modes such as dueling, for example. You'd really like to see board games. Will there be any at all?
We will implement new professions in the villages. I already said this is a mining village, which is, I think, interesting for newbies, and interesting for everyone is hunting on the wild boars, because because it's just a gameplay similar to Bannerlord. Board games in the tavern, it's also would be a thing, but right now it is not a priority task. So we don't want to waste time on it. Maybe, of course, after Kingdoms, why not? Just to spend some time in tavern, in board games like chess or maybe something like this.
Are you playing a system of negotiated battles in the arena for money?
Don't think about it. Maybe it should be a nice idea, but don't know when again. If it is really needed for some players, why not? Sounds good. No problems with it. I don't see. Also, uh, mm, should be discussed after Kingdoms.
Okay, we understood. Big updates first, and then only like small things can be added to the mod. Will there be impassable borders between the kingdoms? For example, as in Total War, you cannot pass without any agreement.
No. We don't have such plans. It is not a Bannerlord thing. It is not a Mountain Blade thing. It is from Total War, not from Mountain Blade. We are not going to implement such features.
There is a question about hunting from our chart. How does hunting work? Do you have any idea right now? Like, is the hunting village big forest will be implemented and players will have to wander around in, and then maybe developers will introduce more animals later, or you don't have any info about this?
I have an information how it would work. There is a scene in Telwords files. I don't know this is a village or not, but we have a scene file with forest, big forest, and some houses in it. There will be a forest with wild boar spawn points. You just go here on the horse, shoot from bow these wild boars. Then you take the body to your horse and then go with this horse to the headman. Like, like you collect wheat in a farm village, you also will collect board bodies, wild board bodies. But you don't you don't create this wheat. You just hunting with bow on it.
Are there currently plans like to add more bandits? Will mercenary factions or additional types of bandits, for example, mountain bandits from the base game, be available in the future?
New bandits, as I know, should be a thing in economic update with new loot system. I mean, mountain bandits and some other places which are empty right now. They should be filled with new bandits. Maybe so new bandits over the map, but not really fractions with mercenaries. don't know about plans with fractions where you can play or you can be part of mercenaries. We don't discuss. We didn't discuss such things.
Like the most important question on our list. Boris waifu skins. When?
They said there will be a system with NPC which you can use for workshops. Also, this NPC can be used in clan halls, and you can change your Boris to another NPC. Of course, to change.
I have a question. I'm sorry. I have a question in personal messages. One player asked me, "Can you change Boris to Hatsune Miku?" I don't know, but okay.
If someone creates Hatsune Miku. I remember who it is. Okay, Hatsune Miku. No, it is not a Bannerlord thing. You can try to create Hatsune Miku with standard Bannerlord editor of characters. And if it is real, you can only face and hairs, yes? And body. Not cloth.
Okay. And there is an additional question from our chat. How about the secret shop? Do you have any information about this? Is it coming? And if it's coming, when is it coming?
I don't know details about secret shop.
No details. Okay. Like you don't have even small sentence about this.
Yeah, no.
Mhm. Okay. Can you describe current plans for smithing in greater detail? Will we break down existing gear for materials? Will it be possible? And how similar is blacksmithing in BO to blacksmithing in single player? Of course, you already answered that about workshops, but this question is more focused on blacksmithing. So, do you have any info about this?
Okay, as I said, there will be no blacksmith like in single player to create your own custom weapon. You only can create a weapon which is already in the game. There will be introduced an option to repair items and to upgrade items. During the battle, your item can be broken. It can be broken right after. So I, for example, fight with my sword, and after battle I got a message in the chat that my sword now is broken. I open my inventory, see equality name of it, like you see quality of items which you get from Alvar. And when you see it, you should repair your item. It wouldn't be very often, but if you don't pay attention to it, in the next battles, your broke sword can disappear forever. So you need to repair it in blacksmith. Not really your blacksmith. You can make an order in our blacksmith. So our player will fix it. And you also will be able to upgrade your items. Right now we have 3 qualities of upgradable items. Let's say that it is H high 1, high 2, and high 3. And you already have high 2 items from our. So there will be an option to upgrade more than you already have. but your item can be broken after this. So, for example, you with your Ramphalia height 3 item fight enough and it became broken, you need to first of all repair and then upgrade it again. Also, skills meeting will be reworked, so it will be named as crafting, and it will be increased during the crafting on workbench. So you work on workbench, you level up your skill. That's all about smithing. About smelt items, I already said you will be able to smelt your items to ingots and wood maybe, and maybe some other resources like skin.
Okay. How are replays stored? Is it a large amount of data? How long do they last? Does recording a replays reduce performance on our servers if players' battles increase? Is the replay system scalable for the future?
Yes. Okay, about replays. You skipped a question about nobles.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Will noble troops in the future drop from items, for example, like caps, coins, upgrading sets, or will there be something closer to single player, or any idea at all?
The idea is that noble kits, which are already in Frostlands, not really a mistake, but not a Bannerlord thing. In Bannerlord or in Warband, you are not able to recruit nobles from classic troops. As I know, in Bannerlord you are able, but with special perk. But the only source of noble warriors should be castles and a special building in it. So there are no plans for adding new coins from Antiquity Master or noble kits to get nobles. And furthermore, if we decide to remove or rework Wildlands or Frostlands, I think they should be done. So there is only one option to get nobles, only from castles. Of course, if town will be a thing, only town, also from towns, maybe from knight orders, I don't know. But the main idea is that, like in Bannerlord and the Warband, noble warriors should be able to recruit only in castles.
Okay. And my favorite question: how are replays stored? Is it a large amount of data? How long do they last? Does recording replays reduce performance? If players' battles increase, is the replay system scalable for the future?
Okay, about storing data, it is a big data to save a replay. One replay can size of one replay can be about 1 gigabyte. They store in on our server about 1 or 2 weeks. It is scalable for increasing of players of or battle sizes. or amount of battles, and there is no problems with excuse me. There is no problems with performance of the server for replies. So that's all.
Okay, are there any more questions about replace? Still none. Wow. Cavalry balance. Will horses be needed for cavalry improvements? Because a lot of people still remember that you mentioned such things in previous Q&A, that horses will be needed for cavalry improvements. Did this thing change, or maybe you just skipped this idea? And will there be another item similar to the upgrade kits?
We want to introduce such system where you need horses to upgrade armies. But the problem right now is that you don't have enough horses to upgrade all troops. I mean, we have only one source of horses is wildlands. And it is not really good if I want to create a cavalry army or horse archer army, because it is too difficult. I should go to wildlands, I should farm them, and it is not really seems like Bannerlord, something else. So we need our source of horses. The first idea is we can introduce a new village with a new profession which can produce horse, but it requires a lot of time. And how this village should work, I mean, which gameplay should be introduced in this village? What are you going to do in this village with work? How you create horses? For example, if you walk for in a wood village, you just cut down trees. If you walk on farm, you just create wheat. How you create horse seems very strange. Other way which we discussed is to introduce a trader with horses, which are able for everyone. And for example, price of this horse is 1,000, and you are not able to ride it. And but to upgrade your unit for your troop to, for example, horse archer, you need that horse, and you need a special kit, not really, but a horse show or just show, which is created in blacksmith, for example. Yes. So, for example, in economic object, we introduce such mechanic, and you need to find resources. You need to craft shoes for your horse, and only after this you will be able to recruit your horse archer from a troop. It seems good, and maybe it will be introduced with economic update. The reason why we didn't do it before, only because we don't have a good source of horses. Okay, I think it's clear right now. So next question.
I'm sorry, my microphone. There was a question about castles again. This question wasn't asked and it wasn't mentioned. Will the defending army of a castle require gold upkeep even while no players are online?
Can you repeat this again?
Will the defending army of a castle require gold upkeep even while no players are online?
I think yes. I should ask Storm about it. Okay, yes, you need gold for your garrison in a castle all time. All time. It doesn't mean you're online or not. So, you have garnison, for example, if it's more like a warehouse in towns. So yeah, you are not going to pay for your troops which are in town, like you when you're offline, like you using troop management right now. But for castles, it should be a thing that you pay each hour for your armies in the castle.
Okay, there is one more question about castles. Would the gold get lost if the castle gets sacked?
If you are if you siege the castle, which have a garrison and have some gold, which was stored for garrisons especially. Why not? Why not lost this gold? But for all such operations, will be a percentage which we will take from you. For example, there is 100,000 of gold, and you successfully siege the castle, and you are not going to get all the money. You will get, for example, only 80%, and our 20% just lost.
Okay. Next question also about castles. Will troops' wage be lower for the troops in garrison or still no information?
No information. I think less than a normal troop.
Yes, you mean less than equipped troops. It's how you think so.
Yes, yes.
Are there any questions maybe? When should we expect the recruitable clan NPCs mentioned in the clan update? Because you mentioned it long time ago and there is still no recruitable clan NPC mechanic.
Yes, I already answered on this we didn't have enough resources to implement this in the clan update. So it will be introduced in economic update, and it should be think because nobody wants to craft items in the workbench in the workshop all the time. So you need to find an NPC to work in your workshop. So it will be introduced with economic update with 100%.
There is like one good question. Like there are several great mods out there. Would it be possible for Bannerlord Online to collaborate with those so you don't need to reinvent the wheel once again? For example, there is a remake of the Calradia map, a few more castles, and the existing ones are placed in a logical way. Same things goes for items, troop balancing, etc.
Yes, like you already answered, most mods won't work. And most mods are using hacks to
Yes,
correctly work with it. I mean, all mods requires all such mods requires a lot of work with code, and not we can't support all these mods. And for example, realistic battle mod, which was many times mentioned, we can't really support it.
so basically most of the mods for Bannerlord, Mount Blade 2, they are single player, and as Limbo mentioned, they're using hacks. And our mod Bannerlord Online, it is another thing. It requires even more code and other stuff. We can't use any hacks or console commands because our mod is synchronized with the main game. With every small patch, it is synchronized, and you can't add any mod. I mean, a lot of single player mods, like, they're amazing, they're perfect, but you can't enable them. Even if we don't developers, even if they don't want to reinvent something, they have to do this. That's the problem. Thank you for understanding. Uh-huh. When will loot rarity tables be published for all troops? Maybe in an encyclopedia or something.
It will be introduced in economic update. You will be able to check all information in encyclopedia. From I don't know, as I remember, not from one troop, but from parties of troops. So, for example, you can check what drops from Northern bandits or from common looters. Just open an encyclopedia.
Will there be another content region like wildlands or frostlands, like islands in the west, steppes in the east, etc.? Because there are even more land, so you can use it for in other zones, or you don't plan it.
As I said, we don't have any plans about our or islands or lands, for example, westlands, because there are problems right now with wildlands and frostlands. They are unbalanced, and they give a big advantage if someone will own a castle near it. And we don't want to introduce new zones like this, and this is not a Bannerlord thing, and we don't like it like it is right now. So The answer is no.
Also, really important topic, retreat mechanic. Many players believe that the limit of 2 retreats plus safe zones makes PvP on the map pointless. Will there be a rebalance of safe zones or retreats? Are you planning to remove retreats from PvP, or maybe you will rework this mechanic some way, because this mechanic needs to be reworked? A lot of players believe in it.
Okay, let's discuss it. As you see, we have some answers from Russian players yesterday. And the main thing that if you retreat with some losers, for example, yes, not really two retreats, or you lost some armies, for example, yes, why would I choose retreat when I can press F1, F3, and the result will be the same? So I waste my army by retreat, or I waste my army by fighting. There is no sense in retreat with this. Second one is that if free zones, PvP zones, if you play it in single player, you know that lords in single player are too stupid, because they are AI. They are not really humans. They just run to you and run away from you. When we think about real players can camper you, can wait for you for 1 hour, for a half an hour near your castle, near your village, just waiting for you. And there is no option to get away from the battle. We agreed that there are some problems with retreat, but we don't know how to change it.
But if players will give you some ideas, maybe they will make some polls for voting. Do you think that you can rework it?
Yes, as we discussed with Russian players, we already have some ideas to how to revoke. You are free to give us your own ideas about it, but I don't know when it will be implemented. And as I know, when we are going to implement it, we will firstly implement it on the beta server to test. So the last idea, as I remember, was that you need to pay gold for retreat just before battle starts. Like you pay gold for looter, so you need to pay, for example, 50,000 of gold to another player to just retreat. So that's all I can say right now.
Uh, I can just read you some ideas. For example, like Suthla says, how about scaling instead on the payment based on the character level, or will it be weird? And also TPA Haktan says retreat should be removed first until it will be reworked. What do you think about these two ideas? And guys, I'm sorry for interrupting, Limbo. Guys, if you have ideas about retreat, I just wanna tell you go and write it right now or later in ideas and wishes, because Limbo will read it anyway. He hasn't another choice. He will do it. So yeah, you can answer. How about disabling retreat mechanic
Disable
until
or
it
remove
reworks?
retreat make no sense, because right now you have some players which newbies. They install the mod, play sometime, understand that they want to be a part of clan, and after they go to clan or they form their own clan, many clans declare war on them, and they just lose a lot of battles and just quit the game.
Also, there is one thing. White Feather says retreat should be like single player and cost units every time you retreat. The higher level you have in the one skill, the less troops you lose. What do you think about this? Is it possible to get this mechanic from single player, or it will be hard to adapt single player mechanic to our mod Bannerlord Online?
Which mechanic again? About barter to retreat, yes?
Not like do you know, like, retreat should be, I think you played single player. Every time you retreat, it should cost units every time you retreat. The higher the higher level you have in the one skill, for example, then you will lose less troops. Or
Yes,
like
again, I said, what is the point of retreat in this statement? For example, I waited my troops in retreat or in battle, and the quality is the same. I mean, I lose as deaf people. For example, 20% of my troops. What is the point to retreat to me? When I can just press F1, F3 and also lose 20% as death, but I will kill some troops of enemy player, which is more useful, as I think.
as I see that we got to this topic about retreat, chat started to be active, and it seems this topic is painful for players right now, and developers really should look into this. I hope you understand, and I think developers already understood even it from yesterday. I just want players to send ideas and wishes, to send their ideas about retreat stuff in ideas and wishes. Limbo will check it most likely tomorrow, just to get some points. Maybe something will be possible for developers. Or maybe someone wants to speak about retreat mechanic. Because I don't see any requests. I just see only chat is really loud right now. So yeah. Oh, Think Wolf is here. You can speak.
Yeah. So, from my understanding, the main concern with retreat is that people prepare a lot of time to try and attack someone, and when people instantly retreat from the battle, they feel like all that time has been wasted. They didn't manage to get any kills on the enemies, and they wasted their time. So, from my standpoint in this has always basically been, can we not just extend the times it takes to retreat, so that you do actually risk more losing troops? It's like right now you need to wait 1 minute before you can retreat, but if you start running to the other side of the map from the moment you start the battle, by the time you actually get to the enemy and manage to charge them, a lot of time has already passed. So would it be an option to just say, okay, let's extend the retreat, not from 1 minute, but for example, 1.5 or 2 minutes, forcing an actual battle to take place for a short time, and then possibly also extend the time when you start retreating before the troops actually disappear.
Okay, I understand about time. I also want to hear Emerick.
Go for it, Emmerich.
Okay. I was wondering, for like a retreat mechanic, people can still retreat, but it would only affect, like the timer after when they retreat. It would only affect the people in that battle. So if you have allies waiting outside the battle, they like you're setting up an ambush. They should be able to attack as soon as that one party retreats, as opposed to them being able to run past you and hide in the town or somewhere. Because right now, some people, like some stacks will retreat and then join in another battle, as opposed to like they'll just join into like their friend's battle close by, just run right past like other allies waiting because of the retreat timer.
You are talking about some abuses, as I understand, yes? With retreat mechanic.
Yeah, I guess not really so much abuse. It's just how it's set up right now, I guess.
We thought about disable retreat for attackers because some guys just start the battle and then press retreat button to get move speed to gank someone or something like this. This should be removed, of course. And I think that's the first idea which we will try to fix retreat is some payment, is adding some payment for retreat. As I mentioned in the chat, why it should be scaled with level or Heyotka. Alright, that low levels pay less, high levels pay more. I don't think that it should be for level of player, level of defender, but level of attacker.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
I think
Maybe
we will try something like this because I also agreed that if I catch you on my territory, you should not be able to retreat without any troubles. You should pay me gold or lose troops or something like this. I agree with this. But you all mentioned that, and in chat, people mentioned that you are preparing a lot and you waste your time to catch a person, but there is no point in it right now. I mean, there is no reason to fight in PvP, which is also a question in our list. And I don't see really any troubles with retreat if you don't lose anything of fighting for nothing. So if I attack you and I don't give any advantage, if I kill you, there is no problem with retreat for me. But it will be a problem if we have castles, we have villages, and you raid my village, and I attack you and you just retreat. This should not be a thing. You should die for your actions, or you should pay me gold, or you should lose your troops, for example. Okay, we have Lord Larev to say.
I mean, a short
Thank-
version, I would say, for the retreat mechanic. I think it's important to have because it definitely reduces griefing from other players, especially on newer people. It's also for a tactic in battle. We just need something scalable now. maybe where the newer player, it's less of a penalty to retreat, the more experienced player more. But it's a lot like you said. Sometimes now, if you get caught with a good army, you're better off just to fight than retreat. And I think it's also people just don't know, do I have a higher chance of dropping items if I lose a battle? Do I have a higher chance of dropping items if I retreat? People just don't know all the details of the mechanic too.
Yeah, seems that scaling of this mechanic of losing troops or something like this is good for retreat. I mean, if you are a noob, you have small level, you should not lose a lot of troops during retreat. But if you, for example, 20 level or 30 level, and you have a lot of troops, you should be able to lose a lot during the retreat. Okay, Lord Chaos.
Hello. I would like to say that I don't think the retreat mechanics is actually quite useful for new players, because usually new players that get attacked, they go to the wildlands or they join a clan or they make their own clan, and they're quite unaware of how the situation works. So they just get attacked by those people. So even if they would like to retreat, they still get caught up by other clans that are more powerful, and they work in groups. So to be honest, I don't think it's really useful in any case, but I see that people are more using it, at least on European server. They are using it to how can I say it, to taunt each other, and they use it like as a weapon like this. I don't think like they actually fight or something like this, but we see a lot of reports in moderation team because of such behaviors, for example. So I don't think retreat mechanic is actually really good. I prefer the old system with the 5 minutes to be able to leave. Sharing like my general point of view as someone that works in the moderating team, at least.
Okay, thank you.
There is one more question in my personal messages. Even if you introduced a retreat mechanic, why do we still have 5 minutes in the battle? Do you plan to remove it, or you don't plan to do anything with it?
Wait a minute. You asked about 5 minutes to enter the battle, yes?
Yes, it still exists, and it's bothering some people. Not everyone, but some people are kind of confused. Why do we still have 5 minutes to make a tie in the battle if we have a retreat mechanic? Yes, it's not perfect, as we heard. It's not amazing. A lot of people are unsatisfied, but why we didn't remove our previous mechanic?
Oh, for you don't have any limit to enter the battle, or nobody can enter the battle after it started?
It's not about this. People still can. If you don't attack anyone and you're just running, it's not removed, as person stated in my personal messages, and you still can finish battle like that. And why, like, do we need two mechanics at the same time?
Because what is the solution where, for example, I as Lord, I as player, I killed all lords, and I am still one versus infantries, yes, for example, and I have a horse. They cannot kill me. So, what should be the result of this battle? I retreat. Why should I retreat? I can continue run and run away from them. and I can also, with a long weapon, I can try to kill them. It will be for an hour, but why I need to retreat? And the reason for other players, why should I retreat? Because I still have an army which can kill this player. Why should I retreat? And for 5 minutes seems good for this. So if there is a situation where nobody take damage or give damage, we just say that nobody wins in this battle. If I press retreat, I spent my retreat chance. Yes, I have two chances of retreat. I spent one on this, and why I should spend it when I can win and two players can win, but we don't want to see a fight of 1 hour where just one person kill all the troops.
Okay. Guys, if someone has more ideas about retreat mechanics, just use ideas and wishes. As I said, we are gonna to move from this topic soon because we are discussing it way really long. So yeah, Emerick, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just a quick note on that. For the 5 minutes, could it just end the round and then start up a new round? Since the other team has troops left, or do you just want to keep it like that, like where it just ends the battle completely?
And so if I can just retreat from battle, what should I do?
So if you can retreat from battle, well, I guess for the captains running around, after the 5 minutes, it would just end that round, and then it would start up a new round.
Ending a round is abuse. You know, some archers can have a good position, or infantries can have a good position in this wave, and running the next wave will just change this position. No, restarting the wave don't seem like a good idea. And we restarting the wave situation is the same. I kill all the lords, for example, and I fighting I versus all infantries. There is
Okay.
nothing changes. I understand that you all are not really uh, like the retreat mechanic, and I think we will try to change this mechanic, like adding a payment for retreat. I mean, you need to be able to. You need to have, for example, 5,000, 50,000 of golds, and you are able to retreat only in this way. If you don't have, you cannot retreat.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
I mean, with retreat, when battle is started, you cannot retreat, but when you have been captured by someone on the global map, like looters, you can just press in the menu on the left, pay gold, and there is no battle, there is no waste time, just retreat. Yes, but the problem is that there will be a situation where there is a newbie clan, and there is a clan which declared a war on it, and they just pressing them and just go to the territory and attack them over and over, and they just good gold from them. Sounds not really good.
Yeah, okay, yeah, those ideas sound good. So, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. Like for retreating, I guess in 1 hour and twice is okay, but no one gets anything from fights, and the guy who loses, he's not losing anything too. Like there should be a reward plus there should be a price for retreating. Maybe money wise, but the best thing for me like is influence. For example, for one retreat you need to pay 50 influence. Money wise, it's not expensive, just 25k in economy, but making a like 100 influence per day is your nearly max capped from daily quest. Not capped, of course, you can make 200, but there are peoples who spend their influence on troops in Azera and North. So like, and when someone wins, also they get their influence too, or money. I don't know. There should be a reward or something.
Okay, I understand, but I mentioned the problem. For example, I am in a weak clan,
Yeah.
and you declared a war on me.
No, no, no.
And
For example, we are not doing that. We are letting the new clans for grow. For example, we take a vessel right now to let them grow to play the game. We want to
I can
try the new
say
guys out.
that there are newbies clans on which some clans declared a war.
Yes, some clans do that. We are not one of them.
So it is
Maybe
enough
new.
of one clan to do it. So the newbie clan created, and an enemy clan declared war, and just pressing them fight
Yeah.
to them to get gold.
Yeah, but like this is off topic, but there should be something like this. When someone opens a new clan, that clans can be like unvulnerable for 1 month. Like no one can declare war or just alliance. Of course, they can come to PP zones, but in normal map, they should be unvulnerable. No one can touch them in just 1 month, so they can play the game properly. Of course, if they want, they can just uh, lift the vulnerability and fight with people. This is off topic, but if you just want to level up with your new clan, so this can be help, I guess.
Just don't understand how we should solve this problem. I mean, uh, always there will be a clan who declare a war on newbies, for example, and when it is started, you can just follow these guys from newbies clan and just try to kill them. They pay gold to you, and for example, okay, we adding a debuff that after this they will pay no gold for you, but skip 1 hour, do it again, and you just rob them because you are stronger. I don't think that this is a good for our mod.
Yeah, like I said, you can bring new clans like protection for 1 month that no one can attack you. In 1 month, I guess you can be strong enough to protect yourself.
Okay, but if I'm not strong enough to protect myself, I will be attacked from anybody, and they
Bro,
just
not everyone declare warrior. If like just look to enemies you have, and there should be like their clan houses. They always like hang out at there. So just go away from them. You should be safe then. And also make diplomatic talks with other clans so you should be safe. Like did you see peacekeepers? They are new clan and they want to PvA right now. They just asked us to be our vessel because everyone was attacking them. And we took them for they can grind safely. Like you need to think diplomatic wise.
Oh, okay, yes, sounds reasonable for diplomatic rules or something like this, but it is still a problem. I think that I agree that if I have all my enemies on no, for example, I don't want to go to there. But I don't know. If we add in something like payment or other mechanic, it will be like you really need to protect your territories. And it is not like time frame for castles. It should be all time. So if I just play and there are no my friends, my clanmates online, who can protect me? Who can help me to protect myself? If, for example, 2 versus 1.
Bro, you ask so much. Like you're not invincible. You should play properly and take position and know the map, like where you are safe and where you aren't. Like I am new
I
player
understand.
too. I lived the same things like you. We had a clan and we had just 3 allies and 20 or something enemies. I
I'm
know
sorry
you
for
situation.
interrupting. We are on this topic for a really long time, and let's move on to another questions. And
Yeah,
I just
same.
want to say, guys, if you have any retweet mechanic idea about rework, publish it to ideas and wishes, because we have more people right now here, so we won't stay on the same topic. It took us a really long time.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I'm leaving.
Will any new non-Patreon weapons and armor be created for the game? Maybe if it will be added, maybe it will be dropped from like looters or bosses. Do you plan to add something more?
No plans. If they was added by tailwords to the game, we can add them, but don't think about custom items from from us. Maybe on if orders will be a thing after castles, we will thought about it. We will think about it, but not right now.
Okay. And when will you add camel saddles, and will you add them?
As Storm said tomorrow, yesterday, yes, but the camels only from New Year presents, so it is not really uh, needed. But as I remember, as Storm said, yes. So
Maybe it's
maybe
not
in
really,
next quick
but
fix.
maybe it's not really needed. But anyway, it's needed. It's really like I also need a saddle. Please, please, please. Thank you. Is there a way to track which developers are working on which features, and how people can track it? From the player's perspective, it appears that formerly promised priorities are dropped in favor of other minor features that were not previously on the timeline. Think issue and project tracking tools like Jira.
Okay, there are no way to track which feature we are developing. I can explain. First of all, we don't really understand all problems with code. Like we have problems with sync, we have problems with tailwords engine, and there are some tasks we just can't properly explain to everybody. That's the first thing. The second one is that we don't really want to show you all features. Like, we don't really want to show all details, which workbenches would be which workshops, how much it will cost, such details. The third problem is that we don't have any instruments like Jira, and correctly fill them is wasting our time for current tasks. It is simple for us just to say we are creating workbenches, workshops, new villages, rather than just say that we creating a new feature in the village, we implementing a new animation, we implementing a synchronization of actions. It is too difficult to explain and waste a lot of time. We don't want to do it. So yes, I understand that this is a problem because we all want castles in, for example, April, yes, and now we're here, and the economic update is 2-3 months, and castles only after that. But this is what we can, and which is only a way we can introduce how to describe which feature we are working on.
Okay. There is one person.
Yeah, so my question is, can you upgrade already tempered and reinforced items into the highest tier upgrade from the blacksmith?
Yes,
If I already have it tempered.
I already said that there will be an extra level for these items. You have temperate, there will be one more level. They be quite a little bit better than you already have.
So if I already have tier 2, I can make my tier 2 into tier 3?
Not tier, like in from Elvor quest. So you just upgrade your item with quality. We are calling this quality. Like you have an orange node temperate. There will be a new. If the item is broken, you will see a red node, which means that it's broken, and it will be with another name if it will be better than temperate. You can just see this from tooltip on the item, not from tier to tier. You still need tier 6 item to upgrade from one tier to another.
You mean not tier, he means quality. So after
Yes,
tempered
yeah.
quality, you will have another quality. It will be slightly better than it is already. I'm talking about tempered, but it's not about tires.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Wolf, you joined. You also wanted to ask something?
Yes. So to get back on the actual question we were handling with which developers are working on which feature, I think the main concern that raised recently is that we're all expecting the economy update at this point, and then out of nowhere we suddenly got an update for an experiment in the weekend with the non-lethal against players. I think at this point, the main concern there is that no one saw that coming, and people feel like updates are being pushed back just to do other things. So I'm hoping a little bit of transparency in that regard. Maybe in announcements, it's like, hey, we're running into a struggle with this. We're going to work on feature X now for a little bit. Is that something that's possible?
Yes, it is possible. I don't really know it is needed. I mean, I can, for example, make an announcement that I am working on chat improvements. I will implement. I'm working on blacklist. I'm working on private messages and something else. This information is useful or not? I don't know. And do you really need to know it or not? I mean, it is only your SyncWolf requirements, or it is for all people, for all players is needed.
It is needed from all the players. I have a lot of personal messages about this. People don't really need all details about code, or they don't really, they don't have to spectate over your work. They just, I think even one announcement per 2 weeks, even some info which maybe will be given to me, will be published in announcements, so people maybe will have slightly idea. You don't have to write small details, like you can say, oh, we are working on chat. You don't have to like, oh, we are doing this button, this button, this button, we are doing this color, this color, this color. No, just like you can just say it like in bigger words. We are working on chat. It's just an example. Or we are working on smithing. I mean, I think this can be enough.
Okay, I will ask Storm about this. If it will be possible, I will try to do it by my own from all players if it will really possible to do, because doing this, for example, in Fridays is spending our development time, which features were done, which not. If it is possible, maybe yes. I see that one player have wrote, we have a community manager, but it is
yes, but
difficult.
I need more information on this.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I need more sharing from you guys. It could be amazing.
Agreed, and I know this is also feedback from the community. We do really want to know what we can expect. We don't need the small details, and we know you're working on the economy update, so we know somewhat what to expect from that. But often the case is we just don't know much else that's going on, and that leaves a lot of questions. And it would be great if Moonlight would be able to provide more feedback on these things.
Yes, this could be great. I mean, no one is asking like everyday announcement or even every week. We know that your work is huge. It is enormous. It's not just huge. It's like a little. It's like a big amount of work, and I think even one announcement per maybe 2 weeks, 2.5, even like 3 weeks, it could be refreshing. Not only like interesting, it could be refreshing. And people could stay more focused.
Okay, I understand. I will discuss this with our developments. If it will be easy for us, we will try to do it. I also saw, for example, Storm posted some videos of Sync Update before it was released, and it was interesting for me as player to see how it works. I think some videos maybe also be published if it is not really a problem for us to record them.
I mean, don't promise videos. I think even like start from little announcements. It could be great. No one is asking like if to open up everything. I know that you want to leave some room for imagination and to introduce some features as a surprise, even in a huge update. Even if we are talking in details about this, you just want to add even a little detail, and you want like, boom, guys, we added this. and guys, and people are like, oh wow, it wasn't mentioned, but yes, we have seen whole info, but this thing wasn't mentioned and it was interesting. Of course, room for imagination is important, but if we could get more info, even shared with me, it could be like really great. King Bartimer, he's in our chat. He wants to ask a question.
Absolutely. So I was curious as to whether or not there's anyone really in a sort of project manager position on your team who's saying, okay, this person is going to do this work, this person is going to do this work. I mean, that's what I do for a living. I certainly don't want to do it for this game, to be fair. But having someone in that role to talk directly with Moonlight, who knows what's going on in the technical level and who's kind of making sure that they know what every team member is working on and coordinating, okay, this is the current task. It sounds like what you guys need to both be organized in tackling priority tasks in development of this software, as well as communicating back to us, the end users of the software, so we know what's going on and feel confident with the development progress.
Sorry for interrupting you. There is a such person, and it is Storm. But as you know, our team is not huge. There is a lot of amount of work for me, like every day, for every developer, and everyone has their tasks, like not only for every day, but yeah. Thank you for your opinion, but yeah, we have already such person. It just things that, not gonna lie, everyone is loaded in our team, like with work, even overloaded, and
I understand, and I know from personal experience.
I understand what you mean, because you stepped in and you're like, yeah, I do it for a living, so I understand that you have the same experience and you know some things about this and you have expectations, so like I understand it. It's like,
yeah, I just think Storm works great as a lead developer, but maybe that's not his specialty, doing the actual management of the project. That's all.
thank you for your input. Well, is there anyone who wants to speak more? Aram Invincible, oh my god, let's listen.
Hello everyone.
Yes, hello.
I'm gonna ask something about PvP. Almost all update is about like PvE, you know. It's like about farming, like North updates, and we have some troubles in this game after new updates. It's like we had a lot of crashes, you know, and when you, for example, when you want to catch someone on map, if you open your inventory, if you want open forest map to catch someone, you get crash, and I mean, it's like when people retreat other people, if you attack them, you get crash, not them. You get crash and you can't catch them again. And something should change about this retreat mechanic. And
We already spoke about the retreat mechanic. Please don't mention it. Don't start the fire. If someone wants to talk about retreat mechanics, there is ID and wishes. I think developers already understood. Everyone from developers is sitting in here and listening, and I think they already understood that it should be reworked and changed. So yeah, and about crashes, don't worry. They also got my feedback. It should be changed. That's why even developers added some more instruments for detecting crashes. They get now more info. Problem is that crashes are unpredictable. Even if sometimes, most of the time, not gonna lie, it happens not because of the developers. It happens because of the tailwords small patches. It's like 85% of crashes because it happens because of new hot fixes, not even huge updates. Hot fixes are crashing everything, and detecting crashes it's a pain for people. It's a pain for developers. They can even understand the concept. Oh yeah, people crash there. But imagine amount of the code which they have. It takes even more time to detect it. It takes a small time to understand it, why it crashed, and then they should investigate it. And I understand your opinion about this and your frustrations, because I've got a lot of feedback about crashes in details from people when I asked them. I finally got it, and all I can say about crashes that developers are still working on them. It's a huge amount of work.
Yeah, I mean, we just play this game for PvP, so it's being boring for us, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
And something should change for tournament zone too. I mean, if you fight there, sometimes when you block, like you just see blood when you attack someone, and there is no hit. I mean, something wrong with, I don't know, mechanic in this game. It's like multi, but maybe it's laggy, or I don't know. It's something about server. I'm not sure. You should fix mechanic in tournament zone too.
We will discuss this problem with sync update further in the question. And what about the PvP is boring? I already said that we will implement raiders and prosperity for villages. Yes, and it should become more interesting for PvP to defend villages, to attack villages. No, as we thought, as we think right now.
I have suggestion about that. Maybe you can add like caravans, you know, and people can loot.
Yes.
It was already discussed. It will be. It will happen. It will happen. It should happen.
It's a good idea. Yeah, my questions about PvP. I mean, something has to change because people getting bored and about crashes, and I don't know, people abuse retreat mechanic. You know, after two retreat. Okay, never mind. I won't speak about retreat. I mean, something should change for PvP. Yeah, that's all my questions.
I mean, you say something should change about PvP. I understood your point. Written mechanic and crashes. Maybe you have something more. What is not enough? Just
I
your
don't
opinion.
know. You know, if people want farm, they can play single. But I don't know if here is class, people should do PvP. But I mean, if they don't want, of course they don't do PvP. But I don't know. There is nothing to do more. It's like you train troops, you fight, and just that. And for example, you want fight with enemy, and enemy just retreat, abuse retreat, and you can't do anything, you know. I don't know, something should change, like after updates, like caravans and villages, as you said.
We understood, and yeah, we spoke about this as I said, as we said, caravans should be added. Developers already understood about retreat mechanics. It will be reviewed. All things about retreat in IDs and wishes also will be reviewed. So yeah, we understood your point. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Thank you for sharing your frustration. It's important. Okay, I'm moving on to the next question on our list. So, guys, it seems there are some new people who are here. We are just. I'm asking question to Limbo. Limbo answers, and people should add their questions about this topic which we discuss. So we won't have any time wasted. Let's do it faster, because if we won't do it faster, we will waste 2 weeks, maybe months, maybe 1 year. I even forgot on which question we stopped. Camel Cedars? Okay, developers. Jira. Would it be possible to make farming a part of the player economy, like the wood mechanic, but players should have a reason to buy the food the newbies produce to support troops for lower wages?
Yes, I already said about it. Farm villages will be a part of economic update. They will be work like the mechanic in wood villages. You can order a wheat or a grain. So the reason to buy a good food will be because it will be buff your army. We discuss some sort of bad food for all people, so you can buy it on a trade because you need to you need food for your army, but good food will be produced only by crafting, only from players, and bad food will be a common thing. You can buy it from a common trader, but it will be, for example, debuff you. So I mean, a bad food, a bad bread, for example, or a bad meat will just decrease your heal rate or experience gain rate or movement speed on the global map, something like this. And a good thing also will give you some buffs, but I can't say properly which one. I really like culture food idea. For example, for each fraction we will have a special food, but it is hard to implement with current idea of villages and the current idea of workbenches. So yes, the answer yes. Farmers will be, farm villages will be a part of economic update.
Okay, thank you. And really important question. A lot of people asked it. Will a PvE clan system be added for players who don't want to engage in PvP outside of zones like wetlands or frostlands?
Yeah, it will be a big question like retreat, I think.
I mean, you can just say your ideas for developer team. So yeah. I know
Yes.
that it's only in plans, so there is nothing to discuss or to have a big discussion like about retreat mechanics. I mean, retreat mechanics already exist, so people have their complaints. You can just tell us about future plans about PvE clans, their difference between from PvP clans, and I mean, I don't think that there is this will be a huge topic to discuss with players because there is nothing to complain about right now because it's everything in plans everything is up in the air right now, so just
Hey,
share it with us.
the main idea right now is PvE clan will be implemented. The reason or the question is how. The main idea from me, for example, is that if you PvE clan, you can't own castle or village or something else. You are nobody on the global map. I mean this. You can farm losers, you can farm bosses, you can collect gold, you can collect resources, you can craft items, but on the global map you are nothing. You are nobody. And if you're able PvP, you can siege castle, siege raid village, and other activities. So if you are in PvE clan and you have a castle, you lose it, and it goes to neutrals, to AI, and everybody can siege it. That's my opinion. The opinion of our developers is that PvE clan also should have less bonuses than PvP clan. For example, movement speed less than it is today. And experience, of course. And the question is why you don't like this idea. If you don't like. So the current vision is that we are going to implement the PvE clan. Of course, to avoid some abuses, it will be switching from PvE to PvP clan will be not in 1 second, but you press button and for example, you need to wait 2 days. I mean, you are a PvP clan. To become a PvE, you need to switch, you need to wait 2 days. And again, if you are a PvE clan, to start a siege, to form an army, you should wait 2 days after you press the button. Oh, okay, no, we have
a lot of people here. Like
yes.
Midnight Coke, you were first, so you can start your speech.
Okay, I was about to I was gonna talk about the retreat mechanic, but I have some
Please,
just
no, no.
just a few suggestions about the retreat mechanic. So like when one side retreat from the battle, the opposite side gets mad because like they stop the battle, right? Like they want to play the game, but one side retreats, the other side is just becomes upset about it. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Just only.
Thank you for sharing your opinion. Also, Midnight Coke, if you have more opinions on retreat mechanic, there is Ideas and Vicious channel. I already said it. I'm feeling like I'm a freaking television with some commercial. Hey guys, please, if you have some ideas about this topic, just go to Ideas and Vicious and Limbo will check it next days. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next question, Aster? Maybe
Yes,
you.
hello. I believe we were talking about like the economy stuff. So I personally enjoy doing like the little jobs and whatnot with my friends, like casually. But food, I'm assuming food's gonna be required. Is that going to be a thing that is going to be able to be like generated somehow, or is somebody always somewhere gonna have to manually make food?
I don't understand. Can you please repeat your
Yes, yes.
question?
So you know how wood, you make wood by doing the wood job. I assume you will make food by doing the food job. Will somebody
Yes.
be forced to do that, as I'm assuming people will need food for their army? Or will there be a way to like automatically gather food?
As I said, you are not going to get food correctly from villages. You will get resources from villages to create food, like wheat to create bread, to create flour, and from flour bread, for example. Um, and we thought that the best idea to implement food will be also introduce a common trader which will sell you a bad food. I mean, you can eat it, but it will debuff you because you need to work somewhere or somehow to get good food, some progression from bad food to good food.
Okay, thank you.
Next question from another person, please. BSL Vildrin. Drin. If you speak, we don't hear you. Okay, it seems if you don't hear him, I will move to another question. Will experience gain from damage be uncapped? Currently, it appears to be 150 damage for maximum amount of experience.
Again, please. Maximum experience.
Yes, will experience gain from damage be uncapped? Currently, it appears to be 150 damage for maximum amount of experience.
I forget what Storm answered on this. I think no.
Yes, I remember it was also no. So there isn't even. Is it still planned to allow clans to move clan houses? Because this thing was already discussed and developers even announced it that players will be able to move their clan houses. And I still have a lot of questions like, Moonlight, can you move our clan house? No, I can't. Sorry guys, even manually, and developers can do it too. I'm really sorry. But will this feature be implemented?
There are no problems just to move, but there is a problem. Okay. I read another question. Wait a second, please.
I'm sorry guys for this pause. If you can find it.
Yes. There will be such opportunity, but we need to solve some technical issues with it.
So guys, did you hear it?
Okay. There is a problem with your interior items. We cannot just move them because you travel from one clan house to another, and the interior is different, and we cannot place it. And what should we do with all your stuff? All your chests, all your chairs, tables, and others.
So okay, I understood that this process is complicated, and it will be easier to move your house if developers will just add this button and say your items will be wiped. You can move your house now.
Yes, for example.
Oh, okay. When will buying, selling, trading clan halls between other players be added? So will it be possible to sell your clan hall to another clan, or it won't be possible?
Don't know about such plans.
This thing even wasn't discussed among developers, so there is no any answer on this. No, there is no and there is no yes. I'm sorry, guys. This is how it is. Will enemies be added to the regular other islands like the rest of Calradia?
Yes, as I said on the previous questions, we will add some bandits in this area.
Okay, Cinco?
Yeah, to get back on the clan moving, that's fine, that's clear. But will it be possible to visit other clans' clan houses in the future?
I think yes, because it will be a good roleplay diplomatic feature.
Thank you.
There is one more person who requests bully. Yeah.
Yeah,
What is your
hello,
question?
I was just wanting to ask about unit trader. Is it even possible to add something like that? That you can like sell your troops, buy some troops, because we do it manually now.
We don't have such ideas because it will cause some abuses. For example, like you all storage your items in the market, you can also storage troops on the market. It will be a problem. We don't want it. And I agree that it will be more comfortable to have such feature, but it should be discussed and properly developed because there are a lot of abuses in it.
Yes, so if it's not possible, are you thinking about adding ways to store more troops? Like it could be expensive, but you know, everyone wants to store more troops.
Hmm. You mean more than one cup of your character, yes?
Yeah. Like maybe some license for more troops or something like that. I don't know.
As Sync Wolf wrote in chat, store troops in castles as defenders, yes. Garrison will be a big, more big than just your cap.
Okay, thanks. That's everything.
Exist?
Hello. About abusing troop trader. Right now we all abuse alts to storage troops. So it will change like nothing, in my opinion.
No, I mean, how many troops will you storage in your alt? 115?
Twice.
If twice, okay.
Yes.
But with with troop trader, there will be no upper limit for it. For example, I like with items, you don't have any limit for it.
But you can make limits. In trader you have like maximum 200
Yes,
of same
yes,
or something like that. So you can limit it to 114 and it would be solved.
yes. As I think we can also make think that when you place your troops on the market, you should pay for all time they on the market their wage, full price, for example. This will decrease abuses, I think. But
Yeah,
we don't really discuss this thing. Don't have plans for it. Maybe after castles. Or
Oh,
maybe
okay.
before castles if it is really needed. But because you right now can exchange them through the barter, it is not really a problem.
I mean, sometimes it is when you are in Kuyas and the other guy is in Baltakant. It's kind of problem because it's like 15 minutes travel just to get troops and go back another 15 minutes.
Okay, but I mean, if we add troop market, it wouldn't be global.
Yeah, but you would know that you can go to, let's say, Zionika or somewhere and get troops. Not, you will not have to like ask anyone and go there. You would have it like right
Okay,
now. If you want to buy something, you go to Zionika.
makes sense. Makes sense. We discuss, but right now not a priority task. We will discuss this with developers maybe.
Okay, good, thanks.
There is a question in my personal messages. How hard would it be to make a clan training grounds in the clan hall for members to spare? Is it possible to add a clan store NPC to deposit gold for the clan and to sell items to clan members from the clan inventory? this?
Selling items is strange thing. Clan training zone, yes.
No, I
Mm.
mean you say that it is possible to implement clan training grounds in clan hall, so members can spare.
Don't know really why we need it. If we
Yeah, it sounds like some cyberpunk stuff, but
I don't understand.
I'm sorry, guys, I'm gonna talk in Russian for Limbo. Человек спрашивает, будет ли это возможно сделать площадку для тренировки внутри клан-холла, чтобы мемберы клана могли даже подраться, типа дуэли, понимаешь? И будет... И будет... И... I mean, it's such a strange question, not gonna lie. I think such things are not even discussed among developers at all. Like, it is the most unique thing I heard today in our meeting.
Yes, yes. We already discussed something like battles on arena for Mania, and now we are going to discuss training fields for clans. Okay, Storm wrote to me that this will be able only in castles, not really in clan halls. If something like this, something like training fields will be implemented in castles, not like for common clan. Yes, maybe more tournament zones, maybe just tournament zones which we already have.
I think adding new tournament zones, if it will be like planned, it will be enough. I don't think it's really. I'm sorry. Maybe right now it's not needed in clan halls. Maybe in future it will be needed. Then we can discuss this topic. I'm really sorry. Aster again wants to ask the question.
Hello, yeah, it was on the storing of troops thing. It seems like it was a wanted feature. Would it be possible to store troops in the clan house, like items, and then just any member of the clan could then, take or deposit the troops?
You will be able to storage your troops in garrison, not in clan halls. Clan halls are not prepared for this, and I don't think we have such plans. But for garrison, yes, why not? Garrison as storages for troops, why not?
I mentioned the clan hall specifically because you mentioned previously that we may be able to move clan buildings as we have the option of like a second one. So perhaps there would be some sort of like mixture where you could move your clan hall to like a front line or something if you were doing sieges later on and store troops there. So you could fight a lot.
We don't have any plans for troop storage in clan halls. That's all I can say.
Next troop storage will be garrison. That's it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Will trading influence as a resource ever be added? It was asked from some player on North American server, and this question confused our developers because it hadn't any details like trading influence. What do you mean with this?
Yeah, maybe someone can
Someone can
explain us
explain.
what is trade influence and why it is a resource.
I think I can jump on that if I understand correctly. Right now, a lot of situations players are actually selling influence. And they do this by being invited to the clan, they get paid, and they donate it directly to Boris. So I think what they're kind of hoping for is to have a safer mechanic to allow a player to sell the influence to a clan.
Yes, I see that it is a currency right now. Yes, on the server. We don't have any plans for it, but I think it could be a thing one day. Why not? But of course, it is strange why you trade your influence. I mean, of course, it is a thing that you farm from looters, farm from bandits, farm from hideouts, quests. But this is a way to influence on the global map, if it could say so. So, like storage and influence in clan hall to activate bonuses or to change something. Yes, influence. It is your own, not tradable thing. But in some cases, maybe yes, maybe it should be tradable. Like, you need some players to do some activity, and you collect some players and pay them gold, and they pass their influence. Why not? But we don't have such plans. In future, maybe. Why not?
Several times I have hoped in fights to help a noob who will lose to looters and otherwise to any another NPC. Unbeknownst to me, they already decided to retreat before I joined. I joined the fight, then instantly lose 20k and items. People joining a fight should get rid of the retreat or just not be affected by it.
It is a bug and will be fixed. Make no sense with losing gold and items.
So yeah, you say that it's a bug, so it will be fixed.
Yes.
Currently, wood production is very slow as there isn't a steady stream of new players chopping it. Would it be possible to make villages automatically produce a set amount of a resource every hour?
No. As I said, uh, we don't want to make a passive income of resources from villages. But maybe with owning, we will add something like this. If working in a village is slow right now, for example, it is not popular. In economic update, we are going to implement a feature that will increase your speed of work. For example, as I already said, nobody works in the village of, for example, Botania. You are going to it, and when you start work, you get not a one item of wood, but 10 times of one item of wood. So we just increase your speed because nobody works here to remove some grind. But when a lot of people, for example, go to the Coris village near Zionica, and all work here, the speed of work will be decreased. So if you do one work, you will get only one product, not 10 times like it was in Botania, where nobody work. And this will be increase through depend on how much works doing in this village. So it will be scalable.
we are gonna answer one question and 5 minutes break for Limbo and for all players and for me. Any plans to add army mechanic from single player or allow players to join another player's army in some way?
Okay, since there are new visitors of this meeting, I repeat again. We have an idea right now that a feature with armies should be implemented in Bannerlord Online with Siege release. Because it can solve several problems. For example, splitting armies on the global map, yes, and recruit meta. You know, for example, you need to form an army on the global map. You need at least 5 men, and each one should have a couple of troops. For example, 50 troops, and they all should be, for example, tier 4 and not less. And this is all good requirements to create an army. And to start a siege, you should be in army. To attack an army on the global map, you should also be in army. So only armies can attack each other. And small characters without army, like a single player, one player, cannot attack and cannot be attacked by this army. So yes, right now we are thinking that it is a good idea which should be implemented with sieges. So armies should be think.
Thank you. 5 minutes break.
Okay.
Isn't this like the point where we do karaoke or something?
I wish.
We should have that for like the next meeting. Whenever there's a break, we bring in the music bot, just let them play music.
Good idea, by the way. Or next time lure people to the meeting. Say like, oh, it's a meeting, and just like, huh? No, guys, you're caged. It's a karaoke.
If you want to ask a question, you first have to sing a song. That's the deal.
Yeah. So we'll continue our meeting. About questions we already have, I want to say, guys, we will publish Q&A answers fully tomorrow, and because it's really late for Limbo, really late, and we spent already more than 4 hours on our meeting, we would like to hear questions from players who have microphone. So yes, it could be interesting. Like, let's get some additional questions and then we can finish this meeting. Ramon?
Yes, after SIG update, developers say that it will be baked a focus group of players.
It was already
So-
answered today, so your question is not relevant.
I don't answer.
No, for the
No, it
ending.
was not
Yes,
answered yesterday,
Limbo
not
did-
answered today. He
it was
promised to
in-
answer in future
in the
and
evening. Yeah, it was promised to answer in the evening, in the ending. So
So
I guess
it's now.
Limbo will answer now. And Ramon, about yesterday, it wasn't answered because it wasn't asked. First of all,
It was.
It wasn't about. You even said yesterday that it wasn't asked.
Okay.
That you forgot.
Never
No
mind. Let's
problem.
listen answer, please.
We had to
So-
remind you at the ending about the player focus group.
Okay, about player focus group. It is a good idea to form focus group which we will ask to implement new features, or maybe fix some changes in the game, balancing in the game. So the question is how we should collect this focus group, and the answer which I got from Storm is that stop. Wait a minute, please.
No answer.
Right. Limbo, there is
Wait,
also
please.
addition to your. Okay. Speedo says.
Okay. There was an idea that we have a beta server, and we will collect some information from it after we will implement some new features on it. For example, we implement new, we fix some bugs with sync update, like a Swinko for 200 weapons, or we will implement economic update and, for example, load this on the beta server. So we will collect feedback from this server. So if you are testing and playing on this beta server only when we asked about it, you can be sure that you will be in this focus group. It will be consist of 30 or 40 players. And how we will work? You will collect some requests to developers of fast fixes of current situation. For example, you all write to me that this is there is a problem with retreat, or there is a problem with sync update, something like this, and you all together agreed that this is a problem that should be resolved. You write this to me, we organize a meeting with you, discuss it, and if you all say that this is a problem and I agree with you, so I listen to your opinions, and I decided that this is a thing that should be resolved somehow or something else. I will discuss this with developers. We are not going to add all features and all requests that this group is going to say to me, but this could be a way for us to get more clear information about current situation. So to correctly be in this focus group, you should play on beta server when we release some features on it. For example, if it will be economic update. We already talked with developers and decided that, for example, castle update will be released on beta server, but don't know when. So that's the point right now about focus group and our.
To be honest, I still don't understand how it will be picked for the group. Like only who joined this beta server?
No.
Speedo asked which conditions to join this focus group. It seems you will pick players by yourself. It's not like it will be strange if you will pick random players and they won't play.
Not random players, so we will just analyze statistic of your online on beta server, which content you used on beta server. For example, we say that we need to test PvP battles, and you will go to play PvP battles, and some players go to the beta server and play PvE battles. We are not going to invite them to the focus group. And this is about beta server is the only way right now, but we just don't have a clearly idea how to form this focus group without beta server. Maybe it will be changed. Right now we just agreed that this should be a thing, this should be done, and in the way which I described.
So
there
only
is-
on beta
There is a question in
server.
personal messages about this. People asking, will focus group change because of the conditions? For example, you mentioned we need to test PvP, so we will ask people who play PvP more. So focus group will be changed, or it will be always static?
No, it will be always static. I mean, we just collect information from beta server to form a group, to form focus group only from activities which we ask. So if we asked you PvP, play on PvP on beta server, and we collect information that, for example, Ramon played in PvP, we can invite him in focus group. If Ramon in this time played PvE on the beta server, we are not going to only PvE. We are not going to invite him. That's the point. And the focus group is not really static because some members of it can leave project, can be inactive, and we should replace them. Something like this.
But you tell that this focus group will be not only about future features, it's about current systems what we have.
Yes, but we don't really know how to organize this focus group right now without beta server testing. Maybe if we get more information or we will discuss this more with developers, we will find a way. Right now, this is the only way.
And so right now, for example, we need to play on beta server to get joined next time to this testing group, right?
Yes.
So you get
something like-
statistics from beta server, not from paid you, RU, etc.
Yes, only when we asked you, we will just make an announcement that, guys, we need to test something new on beta server, like it was with sync update, which was very helpful for us when you tested on beta server.
Okay, thank you.
Think you wanted to ask the question? You're here in the voice chat.
Sorry, I had my mic muted. Well, so if I understand correctly, it will not so much be a focus group as previously implied that it would be, but the idea is, at least for the time being, to just use small beta groups.
I don't really understand what is small beta groups.
Well, previously, in the ideas and wishes that came up a few times, it was discussed that we would form some sort of a group to discuss ideas before they actually get developed. I think retreat mechanic could be one of those things that could be widely discussed in such a group. But if I understand what you want to do is, at this point at least, create more groups to focus on whatever is going to be tested on the beta server instead.
No, this group will be focused on problems which we already have, not on features which we should implement. Only about problems. I mean, if this all group write to me that retreat mechanic is a bad thing, And I agreed with them. I will go and discuss this with developers and try to make them agree with you and change something. Not about new features we are going to implement. So we are not going to discuss with you all features we are going to implement, but the problems and to get correctly feedback. We just think that this feedback will be more clearly from you guys because you are played on beta server, you are going to help us and something like this.
There is a question. It was written. Solo Sven wrote me. My question is there any plan for a chat tutorial to be added into the current tutorial for new players, because a lot of them don't know how to change it and get confused by the chat system? And is there a help channel in game, because question asking for help from new and old players gets lost in global? Well, there is I can say that there is a question channel on Discord for this, but if you are talking about game, there is none.
I agreed that it could be helpful. Maybe if you have time before between economic and castle
But
updates, we will
yeah,
implement something.
he's asking about in-game tutorial. Like, hi
Yes,
guys,
yes,
you are new Bannerlord online player. That's how you use chat.
yes. I agreed. Maybe. I don't really think that we need it. I understand that there are players which have such problems, but we don't know.
There are no requests. We will wait like 1 more minute. Maybe someone has another questions, so you can voice them.
I can continue about there was a question about blood and the sync. The problem with blood which you are seeing but damage is not registered, that's because on the our computer player can block it. I mean, player on another computer have enough time to block it and block it successfully. This is a problem which because we don't have enough opportunities to manipulate with Tailworld's code. So if you know, if you play in multiplayer of Tailwords, there is no such problems because they just know how to use blood. We just play blood all the time. So the reason is why you see the blood. It is because the damage was you see the blood, but the damage wasn't registered. It is because the damage was blocked by a player from another computer, and we cannot do something like this right now. We can try to waste our time to fix it, but it could be about 2 weeks of development, and we don't really want to spend time on this. So just need to play with this.
Question was two parts. First, the recent the cap and kill, Captain Wounded, was the feedback from that you put out that the players gave back useful for you guys?
Yes, it was useful. Wait, please a minute. Okay. We just go couple of hundred of answers, and Storm said that we are processing them. So there is no answer for it right now.
Well, I mean, I like the fact that you put it out, it was temporary, and then you waited for feedback. I just wanted to see if that was useful for you. But my second question, you haven't processed all your information yet, so it won't matter.
I guess the main thing, will you improve the thing you introduced? Will it stay this way, or you're gonna change it, or return everything back?
Yeah. Can you repeat, please, again? I don't hear
It,
the
it's
question.
it's about this topic which was mentioned right now about feedback through Google Forms. About this issue, will you change this new experiment implementation, or you will get back to the old ways, or you will rework it?
No, it depends on feedback. We just processing it. I can't say what we are going to do without results of this feedback. So maybe more than, for example, 80% of your votes was that this is a good thing and why we should change it. And this is a good thing. And maybe 10 90% we all agreed that we should go back. It was better than it wasn't right now. It wasn't like right now. So we just need to see results of feedback.
So there is a question in my PMs: how long will you review these results?
I don't know. This is about Storm.
Ask him.
Maybe a week or two, because we are not going to spend all our forces on it. We just need to develop new features.
Okay, one more important question. Will the devs allow the players to control a regular soldier in the army and keep giving comments after death?
Oh, we discussed this. We have an idea that maybe implement commands when you are dead. Not really to be a new commander. I mean, like in single player when you go instead one of your troop. But maybe only just playing in play and give commands to your troops, like in real-time strategy. But it is not a Bannerlord thing. Then you just make commands of your troops on a global map when you are dead. When you are dead, you are not a commander. That's all I can say. Maybe we will implement some feature which can help us to solve this problem, because I don't really like the idea that when the boy is about one half of an hour and you died in the first minute, you need to watch our 29 minutes. It is ridiculous. It is stupid. I don't like it. Maybe some feature which can help us to command your army will be implemented, but I don't have any ideas right now about it, and developers also. We know about any ideas like from multiplayer, but I already said that we don't like them. Okay, it seems that we are over now because it is more than 4 hours. Thanks for all you for coming. It was very interesting. I think that we need to do such meetings more often, like in 3 months or 4 months. Maybe it will be a thing further. So thank you all.
And guys, if you're worried that none of the questions were answered from the list, all answers will be published tomorrow at the same time in Russian and English languages, so you will be able to read full answers on questions which weren't mentioned. Thank you for coming, thank you for your patience, thank you for not falling asleep, and if you fell asleep, we are so happy that we made you sleep well. Thank you so much. See you later.